So the latest Jaguar to arrive here at ALX Specialist Cars is this one right here. It's the Jaguar XJ, but it's the R-Sport. We get a lot of the XJs, we get a lot of all the Jaguar models to be fair, but what a lot of people don't realise is what the R-Sport actually is. And in today's video we're going to be finding out exactly that. My name's Will and you're watching ALX Specialist Cars. So the Jaguar XJ is a very good looking car, and actually one that's no longer produced by Jaguar, so it's also a very special one. The R-Sport in particular is more of, well, it's sort of in the name, it's more of a sporty design for the Jaguar. So things like a little spoiler on the rear, we'll show you that shortly, and then a few other little touches on the front. It's more the styling that changes what this car is. This car's then got what is called the black pack. It's in the name, it is the black styling pack, so you'll see from the front of the car what is often chrome on the XJs. You do get a lot of chrome on these classically, has all been changed to gloss black. You'll see the gloss black bumper there. The gloss black canards on the actual lower bumper itself have all been changed, as I say, to the gloss black. The wheels themselves are then gloss black. That is actually a separate upgrade from the black pack. They're a 20-inch size for the Jaguar, and it is, as I mentioned, an optional upgrade. The car's finished in what's called Polaris white. So you do get obviously the fantastic contrast with it having the black pack and of course the car being finished in white. On the Jaguar XJs you then get a lot of stuff as standard that you might think is an optional extra. For example, the panoramic roof is completely standard on the XJ R-Sports, and obviously that is a feature that a lot of people absolutely can't live without, and I don't blame it. It's a great thing to have on a car. So the XJ is an extremely spacious car, and that's one of the reasons people buy them, because of the comfort and space that they come with. But on the interior, on this particular example we have here, it is actually also upgraded. You get the jet black ebony leather, but what's special about it is the stitching. Now you might be wondering what's so special about a bit of stitching on the car, but it is of course the colour of it, which is red. It looks absolutely insane, and I think it's just such a great thing to have on the R-Sport in particular, because it just goes with the name. It adds to the sportiness of the XJ. It looks really good, and if you're not familiar with the interior of an XJ, you get electronic memory function seating. This one's got the Meridian surround sound system, which is a very well renowned and very good speaker system, and the actual veneer in this is all changed to gloss black as well. You do get a few touches of chrome, it does retain them, which I like, but the majority of it is all changed to gloss black. The next thing you may have noticed is when I'm getting in and out of this car, I don't actually need to use the key. So if I walk up to the car and it's locked, as long as I've got the key in my pocket, it's going to unlock the car for me. And then if you do want to lock it, you can do this on any of the doors, by the way. You just push that button there, and as you'll see, it folds in the mirrors and it locks the car. And as easy as I locked it, I can of course unlock it by putting my hand on the handle and opening it. Hidden behind the privacy glass in the rear, you get 3 seats in the back of an XJ. The centre seat does actually fold down, and that sort of optional extra seating I was talking about continues into the rear with the red stitching literally running throughout. The front of the car had the tilt and slide panoramic roof, but it's not limited to just the front of the car, and that's because it's got a fixed panoramic roof on the rear, which does get an electronic sun blind as well. And what's special about this is the passengers get an incredible experience because you've got heated and cooled seats in the back as well as the front, and you can control that from the front of the car, so you can adjust your passengers' seats from the screen, but you can also do it from, of course, the rear seats just in the center console. So space on the XJ, how do you actually open the boot? Because that's what stumps a lot of people when you first come across this car. And it's actually quite unique because you push that little chrome button there. It's electronic, it just sweeps open, and as you'll see inside, the boot is massive, I would say, certainly. You get more space underneath the false floor, and there is also a space saver wheel under there. Closing the boot up again, it's electronic, you just push the button of course, and the R is of course the R-Sport styling, so that's what signifies this XJ is slightly different from the rest on the market. And I think I mentioned a little bits of touches you get that change the XJ, and one of them is this rear spoiler. You don't get that as standard on a regular XJ, but the R-Sport in particular does come with it, which I do think looks very cool indeed. If you're watching this video, chances are you're wondering about being a driver of this incredible vehicle, and I wouldn't blame you. We get these cars in and out all the time, and the XJs are such a pleasure to drive. They're just so comfortable, they're luxurious, and of course it's a Jaguar, so what's not to love? One more thing I didn't actually mention that's special about the rear seats is you also get, and I think this is super cool, it's almost like a limo feature, but you get an electronic privacy blind on the rear window. So you can control that from the rear seats. You push the button and it's going to lift up a whole privacy blind to cover the back window. And obviously it's already got privacy glass, but I think it's just an extra layer of privacy, I suppose. And yeah, super cool. I'll show you how that works in a minute. Driver's seat is, again, it's electronically adjustable. The actual steering wheel itself then gets R-Sport styling, and that is also a multifunction steering wheel with all your controls on it. The center console then holds the screen. It's got a reverse camera, which obviously appears on there when you do knock it into reverse. It's got front and rear park assist as well. The car does then get blind spot information system, which is basically just in the mirrors there. If you're on the motorway and there's a car next to you and you're about to sort of indicate into it, it lights up and warns you, but obviously you shouldn't do that. But we'll hop inside the car now and show you a few of the features we've mentioned. So getting in the XJ, to start it up is of course a push button start, just that one there. And the luxury I was talking about, the seats are of course entirely made of leather. But then what's special about Jaguars and XJs in particular is the dashboard is also entirely made of leather. And there isn't much cars you can say that about. Often you get plastic everywhere, but in this case, fully leather dashboard. You've then got the encompassing gloss black trim with the Jaguar logo in the center there, which is just such a nice touch. The XJ clock in the center there also illuminates. It's got a little light blue tinge to it, as do the door sills when you actually open the car up. So it's got nice ambient lighting. When it's dark, it's a really nice place to be. Based on an XJ, I said it was a very spacious car, and absolutely it is. In here it is all, of course, gloss black veneer, but you can actually open this and you've got twin cup holders in here. You can then actually push that button there. You've got more storage in the glove box itself with twin USB and a HDMI port. You can then actually open this little chrome thing there, which holds obviously just, well, not a lot to be fair, but it's got a nice little ambient light in it as well. So I think it's more of like a phone wedger perhaps, but you can of course plug your phone in and keep it in the hidden compartment under the glove box. The actual screen itself on the XJ, I said you can control, well, basically everything you want from it, and you can. So what I love about this generation of XJ is on here you've got all your manual buttons which control all the stuff on the screen, so you can cycle through the options on the screen. But I think what a lot of people don't like nowadays is the fact that everything is on the screen. So on a newer car you might find there's no buttons at all, but of course on the XJs you retain the classic feel with the buttons, and you can of course use them. So that one there is seats. As I mentioned, heated and cooled seats in the front, heated and cooled seats in the rear. You can control both of them from the front screen. That one there, and that's your sort of temperature controls. You can control where it's facing, and you do the temperature itself with that one there, and the fan speed with that one. The car does then have a heated front and rear windscreen. Very important this time of year, especially with the snow that we've been having recently, and you never know, are we going to have any more? Who knows? So of course that one is that one there and that one there. The little P with an arrow, that's a bit of a weird one. So this car will actually park itself, which is very cool feature. I have to say I've never used it. I don't trust them on any of the cars, to be fair, but of course if you buy this car and you want it to park itself, it certainly will do that. Pushing the home button will take you back to the home menu with your radio controls, your phone settings, Bluetooth navigation, things like that. And of course putting the car into reverse is as simple as using the knurled chrome dial there and switch it into reverse like that. The steering wheel I mentioned was multifunction, but one more thing that's actually quite special about this one is it does have a heated steering wheel. So you can control it on that little bit there. It's sort of hidden away, so if you didn't realise it had it, you might never know. But as I say, push the button on the back of the steering wheel and it does indeed have a heated steering wheel. Above head is the panoramic roof. You can close it with that one there, and then from the tilted setting you push it once more and it closes it fully. And then if you want a blackout look, say it's a sunny day, you can actually push that one there, which controls the electronic sun blind, and it is an ivory suede finish by the way, and it sweeps completely closed like that. The other buttons over the top of my head, one of them being the rear privacy blind I mentioned. So if you take a look at the back of the car, I'll push the button now, and as you see it sweeps up with the electronic rear window blind. Such a cool feature. Some people might say you would never use that, but I think it is really cool thing to have. So yeah, very spacious, very luxurious, nice place to be. And this car has covered just under 60,000 miles with a very, very comprehensive Jaguar service history. So guys, that is the Jaguar XJ. One more little thing to mention, if I just drop the door closed like that, it's actually got soft closed doors. So if you've never had a car with soft closed doors, basically it means, you know, when those times you close the door and it doesn't quite fully close? Well, that is what soft closed doors have solved. Because if that happens, or you just drop the door closed, it'll pull itself closed for that final little bit, which is quite a luxurious and actually a very, very useful feature. But nonetheless, I've shown you around the entirety of the XJ, but if you would like any more photos of the car, videos, or you'd like to actually come and view it for yourself, then please do let me know. My name's Will, or any of the other team for that matter. The car will head through the workshop before going on out, and it will be inspected by our ex-Jaguar technicians. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.